أمور بيد علماء. The affairs in the Ghaibat al-Kubra is in the hands of ulama. I'm talking about ulama haqqa, those ulama which are ulama haq and right and righteous ulama. For them, Imam alayhi salam has special riwayat which I recited for you last night. Some of these ahadith which we have, I just recite Tayammun and Tabarukan so that you should know about the importance of these ulamas in the Ghaibat Kubra. Like in one hadith, the Holy Prophet said, Ulama'i ummati afzalu min anbiya'i bani Israel. The ulama of my ummah are better than the Anbiya, the prophets of Bani Israel. So Bani Israel, Allah has sent many prophets among Bani Israel. Some of them were only prophets. They were not given the job of tabligh. They were not Rasul. Only Nabi, only Anbiya. They were Anbiya and Nabi on their nafs only. Their duty was not to do tabligh. But ulama, all of them, their duty is to do tabligh. So the Holy Prophet says, the ulama of my ummah is better than the ulama is better than the Anbiya of Bani Israel. About whom the Holy Prophet is saying this? He's speaking about Sheikh Mufid. The people like Sheikh Mufid, rahmatullah. Sheikh Tusi, rahmatullah. Sayyid Murtaza Alam al-Huda, Sayyid Sharif Razi. These two brothers, Sayyid Murtaza Alam al-Huda, from the family of the 6th Imam, from the family of the 7th Imam, Musawi, they were Musawi Sayyids. And his brother Sharif Razi was the one who compiled Nahjul Balagha. So these are the ulama haqqa about whom? Muqaddas Ardabili, Alama Hilli. These are the ulama about whom the Holy Prophet says they are better than the Anbiya of Bani Israel. There is a joke which I read in one of the tafasir of the Holy Quran on the Hashia on the side. That once Sheikh Muqaddas Ardabili, he was very famous alim from Ardabil. Ardabil is a city in Iran. His name was Ahmad and his title was Muqaddas Ardabili. One of the ulamas, he sees Sheikh Muqaddas Ardabili in his dream. He saw that the Holy Prophet is sitting, and with him is Prophet Musa alayhi salam. And in one place, Sheikh Muqaddas Ardabili is sitting with some other famous ulamas. So the alim saw a dream. He saw in his dream that Musa alayhi salam is telling the Holy Prophet. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, O Rasul of the last ummah, last nation, I heard you said that ulama of your ummah is better than Anbiya of my ummah, because he was from Bani Israel. I heard you said that the ulama of your ummah is better than the Anbiya of Bani Israel. The Holy Prophet said, yes, I said this. He said, how can you say this? The Holy Prophet said, one of them is Muqaddas Ardabili, you can ask him, he will give you the answer. Muqaddas Ardabili was sitting there. Why don't you ask from Muqaddas Ardabili by yourself, and why don't you check him and test him whether he is better than the Anbiya of Bani Israel or not? He says, okay. So he turned towards Muqaddas Ardabili, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and he asked him, what is your name? He says, my name is Ahmad. My title is Muqaddas Ardabili. I am from Ardabil. My father is Muhammad. I am a student here in the Hawza in Najaf. Musa says, okay. That's fine. I just ask your name and you are giving me such a detailed answer. You don't need to talk all these details. Just I ask you what is your name, so you give me short answer. Muqaddas al-Darbili says, Ya Nabi Allah, O Prophet of Allah, you do the same thing. He said, how come, when did I did the same thing? He said, when Allah asked you, O Musa, what is in your hand? So your answer should be that you have a stick in your hand. But you said, O Allah, I have a stick in my hand. With this stick, I try to feed, I try to look after my animals, the cattle, and sometimes also I cut the leaves from the tree with this stick, and so on and so on. Oh Musa, you should have just said, I have a stick in my hand and that's all. And Musa heard this, he said, Ya Rasulullah, you are right. The ulama of your ummah is better than Anbiya of Bani Israel. These are the ulama about whom the Holy Prophet has said the hadith. It is famous about Shaykh Muqaddas al-Darbili that when he goes to the Harram of Imam Ali, he used to lead prayers at the Harram of Imam Ali. So when he wants to go to do the ziyarat of the Harram, in the midnight the doors will open for him. Someone will open the doors of the Harram of Imam Ali for him in the midnight. This is his personality. One day, Shaykh Muqaddas al-Darbili was doing wudu in that fountain which is in the middle of the Sahn of Imam Ali. Usually the Harram, in the middle there is a fountain where the water flows. So they say that he was doing wudu there because he has to lead prayers in the Harram of Imam Ali. When he took water in his hands to pour it on his face, he saw that the water turned into gold. The water turned into gold and jewelry. And when he saw this, he said, Oh Allah, I want water, I don't want gold. Give me water so that I can do wudu and lead the prayer, Salatul Jama'ah, people are waiting for me. And he threw the gold into the water, it became water again. And the second time when he took the water in his hands, it was water and he did his wudu. One day when he was doing wudu in the Harram of Imam Ali alayhi salam, he saw a man was passing by from the Sahn of the Harram of Imam Ali. The man was in very poor condition, poor clothes, dirty hair, and his abaya was also half on his shoulder, half dragging on the earth. An unclean person, big beard, not trimmed. So they say that Shaykh Muqaddas al-Darbili left his wudu and he ran after him. किससे ये तारीखी चून आगाय मुक़द्दस al-Darbili ज़बान फ़ारसी बोल वे ज़बान फ़ारसी बेगा. Shaykh Muqaddas al-Darbili used to speak Persian. So this story is in Persian with English translation, subtitles in English. मुक़द्दस al-Darbili داشت وضو می‌کرد، یه شخصی که خیلی لباسش کثیف بود داشت رد می‌شد از صحن امام حرم امام علی. آقا مقدس al-Darbili وضو رو ترک کرد و رفت دنبالش. گفت ای شخص تو کیستی؟ He left his wudu and ran after that person who was in very bad attire. And he said, Oh man, who are you? He said, Man Darwishan. I am a Darwish. Muqaddas al-Darbili said, Aga, Darwish yani che? Who is Darwish? What do you mean by Darwish? Darwish کسی هست که اگر چیزی گیرش بیاد میخوره، چیزی گیرش نیاد نمیخوره. Darwish is a person, if he gets something to eat, he eats. If he doesn't get anything, still he is okay. He doesn't care if he gets something to eat or drink or not. Shaykh Muqaddas said, oh, this is the definition of Darwish. Darwish yani ham chinin cheez. Bale, Darwish hami. آقا مقدس فرمود آقا جان این چیزی که شما در رابطه با درویش میگی، وقتی من اردبیل رو ترک کردم با خاطر اینکه بیام درس بخونم، من با خودم گفتم احمد برو درس بخون در حوزه و در هنگام درس خوردن اگر چیزی گیرش بیاد میخوری، چیزی گیرش نیاد نمیخوری. He says, you are saying this is the definition of a dervish? When I left Ardabil, my hometown, to come and study in Hawza of Najaf, I said, Ahmad, you have to study very hard. You have to work very hard in Hawza Ilmiya. You have to learn there. You have to study about fiqh. You have to study about Islam. And during your studies, if you get something to eat, you will eat. If you get nothing, then you will not eat. This is not hadaf and aim of a person that if he gets something to eat, he eats, otherwise he doesn't. No, aim is something else. My aim was to acquire knowledge. And in getting knowledge, if I get something to eat, I will eat. If not, I will not. But I will continue. But I will continue to study. This is the main aim. So Muqaddas Ardabili and the people like these are called by the Holy Prophet that they are better than Anbiya of Bani Israel. Kila li Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam. Man khayrun nas ba'd al-anbiya wal-awsiya wal-awliya. Someone asked Imam Ali alayhi salam, who is the best person after the prophets? Who is the best person after the successor of the prophets? Who is the best person after those who are awliyaullah, those who are the friends of Allah? Who is the best? Qala al-ulama iza salahu. Imam Ali said, the best person after the prophets and after the successor of the prophet and after the friends of the prophets are the ulama if they are good, if they are noble. The condition is if they are good, they are the best people. Wakila man sharrun nas ba'd al-iblis wal-namrud wal-fir'aun wal-haman. Who are the worst person after shaitan? Shaitan is the worst. After shaitan, who is the worst? Who is the worst after Namrud? Who is the worst after Fir'aun? Who is the worst after Haman? Qala al-ulama iza fasadu. Again ulama. But if they are bad, fasid, corrupt, they are the worst people. So here, for sure, when we talk about ulama, who are the successors of the Imam Zaman, we call ourselves that we are the successors of the Imam of our time. We are his representatives, representative of the Imam of our time. Then the biggest condition is Islah. The biggest condition is Taqwa. The biggest condition is that one should have all the qualities, noble qualities of a good person, of a noble person. That's why the hadiths are more. One hadith says, Al-ulama ba'kun ma baki al-dahr. Ulama are there as far as the world, as far as the heavens and the earth are there. And Imam Ali alayhi salam, who is on the top of all ulamas, he says, Man allamani harfa faqad sayyarani abda. Whoever teaches me one letter, not word. Word is lafz. Harf means letter. Imam Ali, whoever teaches me one letter, he makes me his slave. I am his slave. Why? Because I learned from him one letter. This is what Imam alayhi salam is saying. إذا رأيت العالم فكن له خادم. إذا رأيت عالما فكن له خادما. If you see an alim, make yourself as his servant. Serve him. We have majlis now. This majlis has a very sacred majlis. If someone enters, it is makruh to stand for him. Why? Because the majlis will be disturbed. Even the governor comes, don't stand for him. Majlis of Imam Hussain is more important. But riwayat says that when alim comes, it is mustahab to stand for him. When alim enters into the majlis, make place for him, give him place. Anyone stand for him. And that's why another person who is reciting, he recites salawat so that alim comes, he sits, and the people are reciting salawat, and then he starts his majlis. This is exception case for ulama. And that's why in one hadith it says, "An-nazru ila wajhi al-alim ibadah." It is worship to look at the face of alim. Of course, the learned alim and the alim who is mu'min, righteous, haqq, alim al-haqq, not darbari alim. So I want to just discuss here one issue before I come towards the end. Because in every majlis I will try to give you one or two messages. And inshallah, if needed, then we can have, we will put more light on these messages. But the message for tonight is about ulama. That you should have to respect ulama and you should have to take Islam from them. If you take Islam from other than ulama, X, Y, Z, then there will be problem. There will be something which will be missing. But if you take Islam from those people whose job is to do research in Islam, this will be